Hey Phoenix, and welcome back to Phoenix TV. Today I am going to free you. I'm going to liberate you from something that is potentially crushing your spirit and your energy around your business, and that we need to talk about and we need to break up with because it's probably keeping you from producing some of your best work at your pace. So stick around if you're ready to be free and feel empowered and connected to your business again. Okay, so let me preface this entire conversation by saying that I have been an entrepreneur for 16 years in various industries, doing a lot of different things. I started my career as an entrepreneur as a professional psychic medium, and then as a wellness practitioner, a medical massage therapist. I've also taught yoga. I've been in the healing world and the mystical arts for a long time. And now I am a business coach for those very same providers because I understand what it's like to run a soul-led business as a wellness practitioner, as a coach, as a healer, and the unique struggles that we in this niche face. Because a lot of what we have to deal with when we are soul-led entrepreneurs is existing in a matrix of reality that is hyper practical, logical, and also dismisses spirit, seemingly altogether. So we are expected to run a business create livelihood with our skill set, which is often anchored in something that is like a calling to us, a very divine relationship that we have. And at the same time, a lot of the tactics that we're being sold into and taught are, to put it lightly, distasteful. So I am now committed to helping incredible healers, coaches, and soul-led entrepreneurs like yourself actually love running their business, love selling, love marketing, love existing in the world of commerce from a spiritually anchored place and without having to employ all of those practices that feel like shit, honestly. So I am a human design business and career consultant. The majority of my work with clients is really looking at alignment and misalignment. Because one thing that human design shows us so clearly is that you have this blueprint, this map that you walked into the world with that is uniquely perfect for you. And what it does is reduces the friction on planet Earth. Because if you haven't noticed, existing is full of friction. Everywhere you look, there's problems. Everywhere. And gravity is not just like a physical experience that we feel in our bodies. Gravity is also a state of being. And there's a heaviness that exists in this matrix of reality that's really hard to ignore. There's always going to be resistance and there's always going to be pressure. But with something like human design, what you get to do is you get to navigate that resistance and pressure with a sense of ease and a greater sense of alignment, which is why I'm obsessed with it and why I've spent the last 9 years studying this system and getting trained and learning all the ins and outs I possibly could to serve my clients, which were different versions of me, better. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is that human design is the science of how we are different. We are all different. We are all unique. We do not fit in a mold and in a box. And if you've been in the online entrepreneur space or personal development space for any length of time, you are constantly being bombarded with wake up at 5 a.m. and do this juicing routine or work out like this or do the other thing. And it's like, there's this almost like this box of what it means to be an entrepreneur that's very specific. There are certain routines you need to have. There's certain ways you need to operate. There's certain things you need to do. And when you don't fit that box, what ends up happening is you feel so guilty and like you don't belong in this world because you can't mold yourself to fit into those patterns. So I want to bust that shit up for you today because none of that is actually true. When you start to study design, you realize that every single one of us has this way of operating in the world that is really perfect for us. And on top of the design thing, I just want to throw this out there. If you're a mom like I am of 2 small kids, or you live with chronic pain like I do, or you have neurodivergence that's really intense, Following routines is a complete nightmare. And every time I watch a video that's trying to like help me and they're like, yeah, just get regimented about your routine, I literally want to throw my laptop out of a window. Because if you have kids or you live with any of the things I just mentioned, you know, you have days where you are killing it and things work and they line up. And then you have other days where you're a literal potato and you don't know if you're human or not. And that is reality. So we have to learn to work with our energy. And we also have to learn to work within the seasons of life that we are given. I am a homeschooling mom of 2 small kids. In fact, I made a whole video about homeschooling as an entrepreneur and you can watch it there. I was also semi-sick when I filmed that, so my energy is like way low, but usually I'm more like this. So there are different things you're going to be doing in the seasons of your life and different ways that your brain function. I want you to understand that if you are the kind of individual that can get a lot done in a real short period of time, and then maybe you have to hibernate for like a day and a half as an entrepreneur, so what? So what? I really want you to get into the habit of asking yourself, and this is something I constantly ask my clients, what are you making that mean? What are you making it mean that you don't have consistent energy every day? What are you making it mean that you can work for 4 hours more than someone can in 16, then you have to take a break for like 2 days? Why is that incorrect? I just want you to examine these thoughts and these beliefs. I want you to ask yourself, where did they come from? Why do I believe that? Because as long as the work gets done, and as long as you are putting work out in the world or content out in the world or working with clients in a way that feels energizing and powerful, why does it matter if the way that you work is different than the way that people are telling you to work? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna bust that up right now. It doesn't matter. You work the way that you work. And with human design, of course, there's so much more nuance to that that's really powerful and really opens up your mind and your eyes to how you are optimized to work in the world. But with this video, I hope that you feel the permission that I am energetically extending you to stop making it mean that you're doing something wrong or that you're not getting it right or that you're failing in some way, and to just see that you operate differently, and that is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if you're different. It's not a bad thing if you're super productive for short periods of time and then you need a lot of rest. In fact, for neurodivergent people, this is actually an essential part of our process because the rest part is where we get creative enough to actually do anything else. So if you're not letting yourself fully rest and the whole time that you're in that lull, you're like beating yourself up about it, you're not actually resting. You're actually making your mind more tired. So learn to lean into that rest and not overthink it so that you can show up when you're really feeling productive and crush it. Give yourself that respite because that's actually how then you're gonna show up and do what you need to get done, okay? So I hope that you found this video really inspiring and that it gave you massive permission in your life. Stick around for more videos on business, human design, life experiments that I'm constantly involved with, and other metaphysical teachings. And if there's anything that you want to hear me talk about in particular, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I am so excited to hear from you and what you want to learn from me personally. And if you haven't yet had your first human design session, what are you waiting for? I have an Ignite session. It's 90 minutes and it will literally open you up in a way that nothing has and activate you to step into that amazingness that you are. Can't wait to meet you. Thanks for sticking around. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that now.